Hi all, good morning and welcome back to my channel. So we will start with a new session today, that is a Power BI, and it would be an introductory session. We will understand the concept, why it come into existence, and what is the difference between the Power BI and the existing SSRS component which is available in MSBI suite. Okay, and then following this session, we will have a multiple other sessions of the Power BI where we will where I can show you the practical demo of the Power BI desktop, Power BI service. Okay, so these are the component of Power BI. So without any further delay, let's get started with the today's session. That is nothing but a Power BI introduction. So let's get started. So Power BI introduction. So what are the topics that we are going to cover in this session is, wait a second. Mm. Okay, so these are the topic that we are going to cover in this session. We'll understand first what is the Power BI, what are the tools and component which is available in the Power BI suite, then what is the flow of the Power BI tool, how this component is works together. I mean, what component comes first and then second and then third and then fourth, like kind of the work, kind of the flow. Then what are the functions of the Power BI, and then finally we'll understand the Power BI versus SSRS reports that already existed. Okay, so let's get started. So Power BI is actually a cloud-based data visualization tool. Okay, and it is a business intelligence tool. As we know earlier that we already have a MSBI, that is Microsoft Business Intelligence, that is also provided by the Microsoft, and Power BI also the kind of a business intelligence tool and report generating tool. But the difference is it is a cloud-based. It will generate everything for you in the cloud. Okay, and it is provided by the Microsoft that convert the data from the different data source to the interactive dashboards and the BI reports. Okay, why it is called the Power BI? Earlier Microsoft has the MSBI, Microsoft Business Intelligence. Now it is a Power BI. So why it is called the powered? Because it is been powered by and lots of capabilities. Like one of the capabilities is it will convert the data from the different data sources. Like in SSRS we cannot have multiple data sources to get the data from. Okay, but in Power BI we have lots of the data source that we cannot even imagine, those kind of the data source from where we can extract the data and generate the reports. And that reports is not a simple reports, it would be interactive reports. That means the user which is who is not having a much of technical knowledge can also use those kind of reports. Okay, and it is basically a suite that provides a multiple software to perform this such kind of activities. Okay, like Power BI desktop software, then one of the software is Power BI desktop software. Okay, then we have a Power BI service which is based on the software and service type. Then we have a Power BI mobile app available for the different devices. Okay, if you wanted to see your reports in laptop, if you wanted to see your reports in mobile, if you wanted to see your reports in tablets, so for that we have a Power BI mobile apps also. Okay, so if you see here, I have shown here a picture of a different sources from where the Power BI is extracting the data from. Like if you can see here, this Excel is symbol is there, then MS Access, SQL, Internet Explorer, and even from the cloud. Okay, so this is something that the Power BI is able to extract the data from. Whereas in SSRS, okay, we will not be able to extract the data from the Internet Explorer, from this Twitter account, from Facebook account. Okay, so but Power BI has a capability to extract the data, to get the data from different data sources, multiple data sources, and convert that data, analyze that data, and convert that data into the um, interactive reports. Okay, here you can see this is the user interface of report. Then we'll understand what is the Power BI tools, how many Power BI tools. Basically we have these three components. First is Power BI desktop, that is nothing but a Microsoft desktop application. It is a kind of a software which you need to install, download and install in your laptop. And using this software you will be able to create a uh, Power BI reports. Okay, this is basically used to create a report. Then we have Then we have a Power BI service. This is nothing but a software as a service component. Okay, so here this is something, it's a service which is running in Internet Explorer or browser, sorry, not or a browser. You have to sign in your service, and there you will be able to see your reports. Okay, and if you wanted, you can share your reports to your colleagues and other members as well. You can create a groups as well. So there are a lot of facility which has been given into the Power BI service component. Then the third is mobile app, that is a Power BI app. This is something, if you want to see your reports at any point of time. Suppose you are traveling and you do not have you will not be able to open your laptop in travel, so you will be able to open your reports in your mobiles or tablets. So this functionality will be provided by this tool. Okay, Power BI app. Now this three, how we can use it, I mean, which user will use what app. So these three elements, desktop, service and mobile app, lets the people create, share and consume the business insights of the report as per their role. So it is basically depending on the role what you have. Based on your role, you can choose what uh, sort of what element I need to create. Like suppose if you are a developer, let's take an example of an organization where a person, one co-worker is a developer, so he or she might need to use the Power BI desktop to create a Power BI interactive reports. Okay, now second is Power BI service. Suppose you have a manager and he wants to see the reports, or your business colleague who wants to see the reports which your developer has been created in his account, and wanted to share the reports and modify the reports as per her or his need. So that manager or the business person can use the Power BI service. Okay, another so if you see, I have given example here also. Sorry, here, for example, you might view the reports and dashboard and share in the Power BI service, and that might be all you do with the Power BI. Okay, this is the one of the role. So but your report creating coworker might make extensive use of the Power BI desktop and publish the report using the Power BI service, which you can view. Okay, so the developer can create a report in the Power BI desktop and publish in the service. Okay, once the report is published in the service, then it is available to the another coworker whose role is to just see the reports and to analyze um, the reports. I mean, we can say, he or she can share the report, or can just mail the reports, or whatever. He can consume the reports, we can say. Okay, another co-worker might be only used her BI phone app to monitor the progress of her sales code. Okay, might be there is a business person who is traveling, and he wanted to see what is the progress now of my sales. So he can quickly open the mobile app, Power BI app, and see what is the progress of the sales. Okay, yeah, which is showing in the report. Okay, then we have a you can pause a video and you can have a quick look of the this user interface. Like I've seen like this. You can see the Power BI desktop. This is a user interface of the Power BI desktop, where the developer can use this user interface to create a report. Then we have a power. Once the report is finalized and created without any errors, then it will be published in the Power BI service. So here you can see it is nothing. If you can see thoroughly, this would be like a page of something where you have an account here. Okay, here an account. This is your my reports and all these options, and here you will be able to see your reports which is published in the Power BI service. And then we have a Power BI mobile also. So through mobile you will be able to see the reports. Then what are the flow of Power BI tools? So common flow of work in Power BI begins with the Power BI desktop, where the report is created, as I told you earlier. Then the report is then published to the Power BI service and finally shared, so that the user of Power BI mobile apps can consume the information. So it would be like Power BI desktop, then service and mobile apps. Okay. Now coming to the functions, if we talk about what are the basic functions of this Power BI, then we can say that the very first function of the Power BI desktop is to get the data from the different data sources. Okay, the second function comes once the data will be arrived. We need to prepare the data modeling. We clean the data in case the data is not clean, and create the particular model and find out, identify the um relationship between the keys. Okay, so that it will be easy for the developer to create a report. Then once the report is created, we visualize the data. Okay, visualize the data to find out, okay, whatever is expected is coming out or not, and we'll analyze the data. Okay, and then once the everything is fine, we have analyzed the data and what is expected, like the expectation is we wanted to see the total sales by the country. Okay, if that is expected expectation of the report and it is coming out fine, then the last step is to deploy and maintain deliverable. So where we are going to deploy, we are going to deploy in the Power BI service, which is the next tool. Okay, now we'll understand what is the difference between the Power BI and SSRS. Okay, SSRS is the component, one of the component in MSBI suite, as we know. So we have divided the differences in the context of some parameters like definitions, working mechanism. What is the working mechanism of these two components? Then what are the advantages? Okay, so very first is definition. If we talk about the definition, then SSRS is integrates processing components and programming interface. It finds its application in testing and deploying the reports that are furnished. That means that SSRS is one of the component MSBI, and it is purely designed to create a reports out of the semi-structured or structured data. Okay, so what happened in MSBI? First of all, SSIS comes, then SSAS and SSRS. So SSIS is something where we will integrate. It's a programming tool where we can create SSIS packages. Okay, whenever we wanted to schedule anything, to create something which is on schedule basis, then you will make use of the SSIS. Then we have an SSAS which will analyze your data in the data warehouse, and once the data is analyzed and cleansed, then the SSRS report will consume those clean data and generate the report. But where is the Power BI? It is not like that. It can access the variety of the data sources, okay, to analyze and generate report. There is nothing some other software before the Power BI who can give you the and like cleans and analyze clean data, or to make use of Power BI itself can clean the data. Okay, it is used to even change the unshaped data into the structured one and modeling it. Okay, if we talk about the working mechanism, then MSBI is on premises software. When I say on premises software, it means it is available in your company own server. Okay, let's say if you're working in some company and you have MSBI. You have Visual Studio MSPI in your desktop. That means it is coming from your company own server, so there might be a threat of data loss in case of the server crash. Okay, if server would crash of your company server would crash, then there might be a threat of the data loss. But in the Power BI is completely cloud based software which is accessed via the browser. Hence there is no threat of the data loss. Then we talk about the advantages. SSRS has a better drill down facility in the report. So if I say to analyze, we can analyze the more and more data, or deeper data with the help of the SSRS, because it is a completely programming tool. Whereas the Power BI has a richer graphical interface. So so we can say it will give you a very good user interface. Okay, then we talk about the data handling. So in case of the data handling, SSRS is capable of handling semi-structured and structured data and help generating the target reports. Okay, as I told you earlier. But in SSR, Power BI is capable of handling both structured and unstructured data. So this is one of the benefit of using the Power BI. If you have a data source, which is not structured one, which is not cleans one, you have to clean the data. Then in case you can go to the Power BI tool, okay, for generating the reports. Then we have a experience. So obviously, if we talk about everything is some everything is related to the user experience. If you can give the better experience to the user, your business will go rise. Okay, so Power BI gives the better graphical user interface and easy to use. Okay, MSBI is more difficult and manual. SSRS reports creation in SSRS is more complicated, or more programming required, more manual. Hence it is usually becomes the second option when it comes to generate the report. Okay, so this way you see we have covered the basics, just a theory of the Power BI. What is the Power BI? How we can use it, and the difference between this. So in the next section, we will cover the SSR Power BI, how we can download the Power BI, we can install it, and then we'll start with the Power BI basics. Thank you and have a nice day.